The Jackson Police Department is looking into separate shooting deaths that happened last night. One investigation began after a man was found shot to death inside a crashed car off I-220. The victim, Bobby Potts, was found with multiple gunshot wounds near the Highway 80 West off-ramp. An ambulance arrived shortly after police found him, but the victim died before he could be taken to a hospital. JPD says witnesses saw his car drifting off the road before it crashed into a ditch. JPD is investigating Potts' death as a homicide.